Welcome to Silver Linings Talk Show. This is our August edition, and we are so happy to have you with us as we have our amazing guest today, Ray Hayes, who is the founder of Pay4Ward, and we're going to learn so much about Pay4Ward and his history and what brought him to this point. So we would love to welcome Ray Hayes to the table.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It's so awesome to have you here.
So
Thank
excited.
you.
Yes.
It's great to be here. I appreciate what you're doing.
I want to tell people just a little bit about you before we begin. So just a quick little intro of Ray is he is a Vietnam veteran. He was a radio operator in an infantry unit. And just first, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
we appreciate
Thank you.
we appreciate everything that you did, but now everything that you're doing.
Yes.
That's the truly exciting part.
Yes, so then you built your life after that, just celebrated 50 years of marriage. Congratulations.
Yes.
You know, worked in facilities at a local school and retired, and I say that because this is going to be part of a story that you guys are going to hear about, and the founder of Pay4Ward, which is really focused on recreational therapy through sailing for veterans, which is just wonderful. So first and foremost is we would love to know how your life experiences really led you to create Pay4Ward.
Well, I was born in Manhattan, and my parents and grandparents owned homes on Lavallette, New Jersey,
Yeah.
a little sandbar island,
Very cool.
about 100 miles south of New York City. And it was swim in the ocean or go out in the bay. And my grandfather lived next door to the Commodore Yacht Club. So I became the kid at the yacht club who brought people's boats to the dock, who ferried people out to the boats. Whatever was necessary for to keep my grandfather and his friend happy, because I was staying there. So
I love it. So you just got thrown into, all of a sudden you're just like the man or the kid who's
The kid.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Introduced
getting people every day to their boats and back, and nobody drowned. So I was pretty proud of myself. Anyway, so. Then I went into I was always sailing as a kid, and I had a little sunfish and a little lightning, and went around Barnegat Bay, and they had catboat races all the time, and I really loved the little catboats, Herreshoff America catboat especially, and they had like a Herreshoff yawl, a small schooner, a small sloop that I was.
So these are all like one-man boats, like
Yeah.
So you're independently able to do this all on your own,
Right.
just
Yeah.
out there, you in the ocean, just really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So this was like a childhood history of being on the water,
Yeah.
sailing, being around boats, and then you became a boat captain.
Well, I started with this company, Marine Trading International. They built boats in Taiwan and brought them over on decks of freighters, and then we offloaded them in Boston, New York, Baltimore, wherever on the East Coast. The boat was being delivered the closest big harbor, and then we would deliver the boat and then take the trade in and take it back to New Jersey, because it was located in Bay Head, New Jersey, the top of Barnegat Bay, the northernmost part of Barnegat Bay. And I did that, and I realized that that kept my PTSD calm. I was able to be out on the water in the quiet and the calm, and it really was, it helped me a lot.
So that was post-Vietnam then?
Post-Vietnam.
So the sailing pre was like your thing. Then post-Vietnam, you returned to it, and you just found that was your soothing.
I needed. I could function a lot better on a daily basis if I had a little sailing every now and then to keep myself calm.
And I think we all have something, and it's wonderful that you went back to a childhood, maybe passion
Yeah.
that started from I needed to do it to then it became something that I really loved.
Yeah.
And I would love to kind of talk about this experience you had when you worked in the facilities. And that's why I mentioned this to begin with, is because this was a big turning point in
Yeah.
your life. So can you tell us about that story?
Well, I'm working as a director of facilities in Westbrook schools, and I have become friendly with, I guess he's not, but the guy,
Looking at
there was a guy,
lovely photos that he brought. There's lots of reference on there.
Yeah.
there's a guy who was a gym teacher who they went out for, we go out on vacation, and he comes back, and I said to him, "What'd you do on your vacation?" And he said, "Oh, outward bound, I went out to Colorado and hiked." And I said, "Phew." And how much it cost? He said, "It didn't cost a dime." I said, "How do you?"
And it was
you have,
because he was a veteran too, right?
yeah, he was a veteran
Yeah.
too. He was a combat veteran of Afghanistan. He was a medic.
Okay.
So he said it was free, and I could apply, and they had sailing, so I applied. Okay, and I got accepted to go on a week sailing. I should have read the fine print a little better, because it was a week sailing. It was in a Liberty ship lifeboat, and it had 11 oars in it.
Wow.
5 on each side and 1 to steer, and it was the Liberty ship lifeboat was like 30 feet long, but there were 11 people in this boat, and all the food and water we would drink in northern Maine.
Nice.
Going
cold
from,
there.
Yeah, the water's very cold, because we would have to go. We went to island out in the off. They have some very appropriately named islands: Burnt Island, Mosquito Island, Rock Island. It was
The adventures you had to.
So you were definitely outward on this
Sleeping
bound trip.
across the bed was the oars laid lengthwise in the boat, and we slept across it. 11 guys in this 30-foot lifeboat that leaked. It was wooden. It was a Liberty ship lifeboat, and I couldn't wait to do it again.
Nice.
The food was horrible. The living accommodations were awful. There were no bathrooms. There was nothing. Okay.
But you couldn't wait to do it
I couldn't
again.
wait to do it again, because I found that I related to the guys, and they kind of wanted to ask me, how did I get through it all? Because they all felt like they were struggling, and they are struggling, and they're still struggling.
That was something that I found really powerful in this story. In talking with you about it earlier, was that when you were here, you experienced everybody came to you.
Yeah.
Everybody was asking you questions and trying to talk to you. And then you thought, I want to do it again, and you did.
I did in Key West in June. So the hard part of the one in Maine was at 5 o'clock in the morning, we had to jump in the water. And that Maine water at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's cold.
Sure.
It's cold at 5 in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
it really doesn't matter.
It's cold.
It was, but the next one was in Key Largo, Florida. So it was beautiful, We were jumping in the water regardless at 5 in the morning.
And the same thing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same
People
thing happened.
started asking you questions and coming to you.
Yeah.
And then the light bulb. What happened?
I decided I didn't need Outward Bound anymore. I could do this more often. I could, and I could do it on an individual basis, because I found it hard to talk to 3 guys at once, because they were all asking me questions and they were all applying it to themselves. Because it's
really
all
cool.
different to everybody.
So you could relate to what their struggle was, but be out on the calming influence of the water.
Yeah.
But you could choose your menu and have better food, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know,
I mean,
yeah.
that's where you could have your influences. You could control the environment. You could control the connection and the
And
number
bring
of
it
people.
right to home.
Right.
And bring it right to home.
yeah, sometimes I even bring home with them. You know, there are times where the guy and his wife say they're not getting along. Well, you know, bring your wife and the kid. You know, bring everybody. You know?
Oh, is that what's happening in the pictures over there?
Yeah, that family. Yeah,
That's so nice.
and as far as I know, they're still together. I haven't seen them in 2 years now, but
Great. Can we touch base a little bit on maybe highlighting a couple of photos on your poster that we don't have to show afterwards? So maybe if we started with the poster closest to Lynn.
There you have some great pictures here.
you want me to get up and walk over there and?
No, it's okay. I think
right.
Lynn could.
I'm not sure which ones. I know we're going to talk
Point to one, I'll talk about it.
Awesome.
about what's going on up here.
That's a guy who was a Marine, lives in New London. There was a bombing in Beirut where
Oh, wow.
he was the cook, and he had just walked outside. He walks pretty badly with a limp, but he's getting around. It's good for him. And the one next to it, you know those people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Great picture.
And I think also just to note that that's your first boat of Pay4Ward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. It's beautiful green and, you know, wooden boat.
It was Herreshoff Eagle.
Nice.
It's a Herreshoff America, and they put a bowsprit on it,
Beautiful
which is a
boat.
catboat. So the mast is all the way up on the bow, but it moved back and put a bowsprit on it. So we had a sloop rig, gaff rigged sloop, and it sailed beautifully.
I think it's important, too, to note this quote. PTSD is a normal human reaction to a markedly abnormal life experience.
That's so true.
It's poignant, but it relates to what you're doing with them as well.
This is the whole reason why you started this and was on this venture of recreational therapy through sailing, was through your own experience of PTSD.
Yeah, it's not going away. So I have to deal with it, and I have to, and the best thing to do is to make it positive.
Right. So I love how you've spun that, and you're just like, okay, this, it's not a normal life experience to spend your time out on a boat either. That's a special thing.
Right.
So to be offering that to people who normally would not be able to do that is really amazing.
I think so,
I think
too.
that the selection of that is awesome.
Tell me about how you try to, like if someone goes out, you know, on the sail with you, how do you try to set the scene for them? So what should someone expect when they go out on a sail with you through Pay4Ward?
It'll be their schedule
Okay.
when they want to go, as long as I don't have a VA appointment or the weather is not terrible.
True.
You know, and the VA is schedule. They change their schedule now and then, you know, to suit themselves. So I have to adjust to it.
Sure.
There's not much I can do, but that's about the only rules I have.
I love this piece that I think is so important for all the viewers to hear, is that when someone sails with you, you said, I don't ask them questions.
No.
I allow them to take this experience for whatever they want from this experience. If they want to be quiet and just enjoy and have this inner experience, that's what we do. If they want to ask questions or talk, I listen. I love that. And I think that that's so important, because sometimes people are afraid to reach out and do things because they're maybe afraid that they have to talk, or maybe they're afraid that something's going to come up that they just don't want to deal with. And I think that's so important that you value that piece and that you see that piece very clearly, and you provide such a beautiful, like you said, recreational, therapeutic, really way for someone to maybe deal with the anxiety or the PTSD for themselves that day.
I'm also totally non-judgmental because I have the same problem. So we can relate.
Well, that's the empathy in you. You're providing them a space to just let it unfold as it should, because every sale is not like any other, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the only difference in our PTSD is the dirt.
Where it
I
occurred.
eat mud, they eat sand. That's all. You know,
Yeah.
that's the only difference, is the dirt we ate. The feeling is the same. The anxiety is the same.
I also loved how you really saw and you said, I am in a unique situation to do this.
Oh yeah, because I know what they're going through, and I can understand it. And I tell them, you know, I tell them a little story about me if I say anything, and that's it. You know, just so they know I'm not
Expecting anything.
Yeah.
And that you know, because there's something about sharing a little bit about you that allows that connection that, oh, okay, he really understands. So I love that you brought this passion of sailing into helping yourself, but then extending it to others. And you brought some photos for us, so I would love if we could pull them up and have you kind of talk us through them.
Sure. That's me, obviously. With patches, I ask everybody who comes out and goes out with me to give me a patch, a unit patch. And there are all kinds of unit patches there. Some are duplicated because two guys were from the same unit. But it covers World War II to World War II English Navy to Afghanistan, ambulance driver.
And I love one thing that you shared about this, how this all began, was someone was sailing with you and wanted to give you something in return. And they said, how much is it? And you said, it's free. And I think that it started with someone wanted to show their appreciation, right, of your time and what you were giving to them, that it came up of, well, you can give me a patch.
Yeah, that's
And
all.
this way you're kind of just keeping track of all of the people who have held space on your
Right,
sailing
on our solo.
vessels. Yeah, I love
All right,
that.
we'll go to the next one.
This is a group called Giant Steps. They work on art at the West Haven facility. They stay there. I had to get a friend to help me to get them out here for the day, and it was great. I could see they loved it.
Look at all the smiles.
Yeah, that's about as good as they smile.
Nice.
Aw.
And that's the T-shirt they gave me is a Giant Steps T-shirt.
Nice.
It's dirty combat boots.
Oh,
but
I
it's-
love that. That's
It's
very
their
symbolic.
Giant Steps.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
for them it
Let's
is.
check out the next one.
Ah, this guy, World War II, the Bismarck. He's on one of the English destroyers. He's an Englishman. He's on one of the English destroyers, chasing and sinking the Bismarck, the biggest Nazi ship out in the Atlantic.
Wow.
What a story and what a history to live
And
through.
we went out on a very rough day. I wouldn't have gone out, but he wanted to go out. And we were banging into 3-foot, 4-foot waves, and he had a great time. And his daughter came and picked us up, and she was mad at me, you know, at me, because I took her father out in this horrible weather, and what's the matter with you? He's 90 years old. He had a big smile on his face. He was happy.
Nice.
I love that so much. That's a great story.
And how about next?
the guy in the middle was a point man walking in Bavaria or somewhere, I don't know, Eastern Germany, and came upon one of those small concentration camps.
Really?
And that's his great-grandson and me. And I took the two of them, I took him out, I don't know, 3 or 4 times.
Nice.
I love that you have somebody who's coming back because
Right.
it works.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And what is next? Oh, I actually took this photo. And I took it and I wanted to share it because I wanted people to see like the beauty of being on your sailboat. I thought that was really beautiful.
It feels nice.
Yes. Yes.
That's today's sailboat. That's a friend of mine who, his unit patch is on that cover.
Nice.
He's a good guy, but that's the new, I had to get a newer boat because the other boat was smaller and heeled a lot. And I realized that a lot of guys don't, if you're not used to sailing, you don't like that tipping.
Right, right.
Yes, they're novices. You're right. A lot of
Yes.
them have never been out.
Yes.
That's a
My
good point.
mission was not to scare them. My
Right.
mission was to make them relax. And
Absolutely.
if they're white knuckling along while I'm sailing, they're not having a good time.
No, that's so true.
And
Good
any
point.
last final photo? The last one I took again. So just to kind of show now sail is down, what it looks like. But I wanted to share that you also brought us a video. And I would love people to experience the video of what you had to share and the beauty of what it looks like to sail with you and Pay4Ward. If we can see that video, that would be great.
Hey, I'm Ray Hayes. I'm a Vietnam combat vet who wants to help my fellow veterans through sailing as recreational therapy. Being out on the water on that classic sailboat requires teamwork and communication. It involves shared physical activities, develops camaraderie, builds trust with others, allowing veterans to open up and talk about their experiences if they want to. And for me, finding someone you can trust and talk to is the first step on that long journey home. We're located on the Connecticut shoreline and sail on the beautiful Long Island Sound. We work to your schedule. You can come by yourself, you can come as a group. You don't need any sailing experience, and there is absolutely no cost to you, thanks to our wonderful supporters. If you're a veteran and want to go for a sail or just learn more about what we do, please get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.
I love that. That was beautiful.
That was so beautiful. I love the feeling of that. It really, it gave me calm. So
Yes,
I can
there's
see
such
how
peace.
that I can see how that would work, and I love how you shared all of your information on there, how people can get in touch with you, how people can work with you. Could you share a little bit about how the Community Foundation has assisted you in,
Yes.
in
Community
getting
Foundation.
started? Yes.
They are wonderful people. I was trying. I had formed a company, and I was trying to get it to be a nonprofit. And I would see ads in the paper. You know, if you want to be a nonprofit, come to this meeting, and I would go. And I would sit in the back of the classroom, and somebody would be droning away up there, and I would not get a thing out of it, and I would leave. And I did that 2 or 3 times, and I was getting a little,
Disenchanted.
Frustrating.
yeah. And you know, I walked into what was the community or Citizens Bank, and I in Middletown on South Main Street, and I went into the basement and walked in, signed up for the meeting, and Thayer Talbot walked up to me and started questioning me about what I was doing, why I was there. She knew more about me than I did by the time the meeting started, and she introduced me to everybody in the place, and they have always just been more than helpful to me. I would not have survived COVID without them.
It's wonderful.
I love that. Love that. So we love to know that they're a great resource for nonprofits.
And
any nonprofit.
And here's your website.
That's it.
Yep, Pay4.org. People can go on there, learn more about you. Contact info is going to be at the end of the show about how someone could contact you to schedule a sale.
Sure.
Absolutely. It has been a pleasure to have you
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
on
both.
Silver Linings,
Yeah,
because you know what? You are a silver lining to many.
Yes.
So thank you for being here.
And this is my silver line.
Aww.
So we'll see you all soon.